bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
You ready?
Come on! It's the Queen of Royal Badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I am your host, Robin Ayers, and I'm with you all Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. on that drive home. I hope it has been a lovely, lovely day for you. It's Wednesday. It's Friday Junior, says Andy. Friday Junior. Wow, there is so much to catch up on. As you know, we actually played here the live presidential debate yesterday. So I was not here, of course. We were all watching we were stuck to the televisions. I don't know where you were, but I was stuck to the television watching the live presidential debate. Wow is all I can say. I know we actually had a live viewing party here at the KBLA 1580 station. Lots of people from the community were here in order to watch, and they had a live discussion afterwards. I hope you were able to check that out as well. Hey, Andy.
What's cracking?
What's cracking is I'm trying to get this mic right.
It was a beautiful event yesterday and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, it's always dope running into people who call in. Sometimes you know you match the voice with the face or whatnot. So you know it was dope.
Very nice. And were you able to meet some
A couple people, you know.
Okay. Yeah, Andy was here holding it down, of course. And I paid attention to a lot of what was being posted on social media. So that was great. And obviously, great conversation that happened right after the presidential debate. I want to shout out to my kids as well. And the kids all across the country. I have been seeing so many viewing parties happening. And they were all, engaged and wanting to know what's going on with this debate because it is historical in so many ways. And my kids, for one, also paid close attention to the debate. So that was really awesome as well.
I'm assuming this is their first time voting, right?
They will just miss the voting opportunity for them. They'll turn 18 right after. So next year, or excuse me, in 4 years, but actually in 2 years, they will be able to vote. Sad news for those major fans. I'm talking about, there are so many of us around the world who have to say rest in peace, rest in paradise to the Frankie Beverly, who expected to wake up and see that news. He passed away yesterday at the age of 77. Absolutely deserves all the standing ovations. I have to say though, I was just so honored and grateful when I saw that, to have participated and gone to the recent farewell tour that he put on here in Los Angeles. He was all around the country though, and it was a blessing to see him. I posted this on social media today that there's a video that I took of him, and his little self was grooving all across the stage, and in the background there was a sort of a collage, like a video collage of decades of his performances, he has been around. I mean, this man left a legacy, truly left a legacy. He was a young man, and he was getting started and grooving everywhere that he went. And obviously, a lot of people say that his music, Frankie Beverly and Maze, were the soundtrack to a lot of our lives growing up, because if it wasn't us ourselves, it was our parents and grandparents playing their music. And it still sits with us today, and it's nostalgic. But again, I had that great opportunity, as so many of you did. I know we even gave tickets away here on this show. We were able to see him one last time for his farewell tour here in LA. So that was a beautiful thing to see. But I know people are celebrating him all across social media.
I don't like to bring somber moods to the occasion, but I always wonder if certain individuals know about, their time.
Yeah.
Only because of this farewell tour that occurred, right?
Yeah.
And I think about Michael Jackson. He had a little farewell tour situation and whatnot. I don't know. It just had me thinking, like, he probably knew what was, about to happen.
Yeah.
So he was like, let me do this thing one more time. And
Yeah.
you hear the news.
I don't think you're wrong about that, though, Andy. I do believe some people actually know. I actually thought that about him particularly. I don't know what he passed from. I don't know what he was dealing with. I'm sure that there was something. You can progressively see he was getting older, of course. You can still see things on him. But I to this day, we actually don't know. Here's a quick little tidbit for you guys. He was born Howard Stanley Beverly on December 6th. I don't know if you knew that, in Philadelphia. And it says he was so taken with the 1950s R&B group Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers that he changed his name to Frankie Beverly. Isn't that a fun fact? I mean, I love that. I love that, he loved that group so much. We all know Frankie Lyman as well. He loved that name and the group so much that he wound up changing his name, and that's how his career started. So definitely giving a major shout out and condolences to Frankie Beverly. I get tired of this. They say they go in threes. I hate that. I hate it. But we were just celebrating Fat Man Scoop. We talked about Rich Homie Quan. Here we are dealing with another major loss.
Let's not forget about James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Because that was something we couldn't actually report on because it was yesterday. The iconic James Earl Jones. Also, thank you so much for saying that, Andy. Sometimes I get mixed up in our days when I'm here and when I'm not. And yesterday, obviously, we were not here. I was not here, and so I was unable to report on that. But the icon passed away, 93 years old. What a legacy he has left behind as well. Sometimes I just feel so honored to have lived during a time where these legends also lived and gave us in real time, major art that we're able to take with us forever. You can never match that voice. James Earl Jones, you can never match that voice. You can never match that presence, what he gave us in Coming to America as the father. I mean, you can never match that. That's iconic. You know what I mean? There's so much. So definitely, we're sending our condolences to him and his family as well.
It's just a little scary too,
Why? It's
just a reminder that, you're getting older. It's like everybody that I grew up with are starting to wither away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just trips me out because, these were the greats. These cats were legends, And I think about, the entertainment industry right now, and it's just, man, where are the new legends? Who's going to be the James Earl Joneses of, 20 years from now, whatnot, I'm concerned. But regardless of that, it's just sad, it's just, damn.
Yeah, you can look at it that way. You certainly can look at it that way. I'm not mad at you for looking at it that way either, because I do understand. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, wow, like when you see people pass like right in front of you, like legends and icons, and you could think about it in a sad way, or you could think about it and say, you know what, that gives me a reason to really live. I mean, I'm optimistic. I am. Roses, flowers, butterflies, all that stuff. It really does give you a reason, if you think about it, to just go for it, to live. We often, there's so many fears that we have to live out life things that we're in our minds so much, we talk ourselves out of so much. And when you see things like that, it gives you a reason to say, you know what, we're all going to go one day. Why don't I just go for it? Because we could be, Andy, the very people you're talking about. You said, who are going to be the next legends? You actually can be. You can be if you go and live your best life and live your dreams. So that's how I'm going to choose to look at things. Yes, Mimi, Pretty Brown Mimi says DJ Jazzy Jeff, his mother as well. He did lose his mother. I saw that on social media. Rest in peace to her as well. We're also commemorating, 23 years of 9/11. Today is 9/11. 23 years ago, where were you? My goodness, that seemed like yesterday, didn't it? Goodness gracious. I mean, such a horrible moment in time for our country. And, that every single year we have to pause and remember those people who lost their lives and all the lives that were changed from 9/11 as well. And so we want to remember that too. It was just, again, a lot to report on today. But before we move on with the show, because we have a guest joining us today, I'm actually very excited to speak with her. I'll give you more on that in a moment. When we come forward, though, I'm actually going to list out a couple of updates because I know we're more updates than I just gave you right now. We'll get to that. We're also going to get to what our show is about, who we have joining us today. We're going to do that on the other side. You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Lil Rel Howery. And right now, you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. That's right, The Raw Report.
You're inside The Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
What's wrong?
My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation.
Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card?
Uh-huh.
Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase.
Really?
Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes,
Why should we be silent?
turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles.
LA Can believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Raw Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let me go ahead and talk about these couple of updates because I just...
Can I ask you a question, Robin?
Yes, you can, Andy.
Come on now.
What's up, Andy?
We got to lighten up the mood.
Yes, please.
What's up with Shannon Sharp? What's up with your boy? What's going on with him, man?
Oh, my God. You know what? Oh, no. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I could have gone my entire life without finding out why Shannon Sharp was trending today. I mean, literally, we wake up and the man is trending. You know, we talk often about Shannon Sharp and Club Shay Shay on this show. And now he himself is the topic of conversation. And I will tell you why. Andy?
He's the man of the year. That's all I'm going to say.
Is he the man? Come
2024 is the year of Shannon Sharp.
Okay, that says Andy. Let me tell you guys something. I don't appreciate Shannon Sharp either accidentally went live. I don't believe he went live. He live streamed on his Instagram account, personal Instagram account. And many people believe by accident that he went live while he was being intimate with a woman. It's something you don't need to hear. But if you have heard it, he said he came behind that on that same account, by the way, says I was hacked and my team and I we're trying to figure out we're vigorously like searching for the culprit.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It sounded just like Shannon Sharp to me.
Oh, it was him for sure.
And he's now talking about he was hacked. I don't appreciate that.
Your partner that you engaged into physical activity with hacked your phone.
You think it was her who did him dirty? What's the reason?
Just a strong assumption.
Why would a woman set a man up like that?
Robin.
I mean, unless she hated his guts, really. Maybe do you think like, oh man.
Some people like to sabotage people.
But why? I mean, we don't know. So I put it on him. I say he accidentally did something because he knows how to go live. He goes live how often?
Seems like
every
week? Night now.
he goes live with Chad Ochocinco, and so he knows how to do it. I think he wasn't trying to. I think he accidentally went live.
I think his girl had his phone, and who knows? They probably was just big kicking it, just chilling.
Okay.
And then, she was like, I'm going to go live. And then we going to get it cracking. And then I'm going to just throw the phone on the bed or something like that.
I don't know about that. But I can tell you this. Shannon Sharp is not a good look. Now, you said, is he talking about this?
He's on Nightcap right now.
He's on Nightcap currently at this moment. Okay.
I'm going to catch it after the show.
All right. Well, y'all don't change from the Raw Report to go listen.
Here.
Yeah, you stay right here. Y'all don't go listen to Shannon Sharp. I don't know what that man is talking about. But anyway, that is currently that was one of the biggest stories of the day, honestly. And I I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what he has to say other than his account was hacked. I don't think that's the truth. I don't think that's the truth at all.
We knew Mimi was going to enjoy it.
Pretty Brown Mimi says, I can't unhear Shannon Sharp. I think Shannon knew what was going on. It's official. I need a social media break. Yeah. It's the story that I always talk about. It's one of those things. How do I balance what I do, learning about all these different things and curating a show and staying off of social media? How do I do that? How do I find the balance? And sometimes I do take a break. I don't do personal things and I go specifically where I need to go. Oftentimes too, it's not necessarily social media that I get my news from. There are other apps and like newsworthy apps that I get my news from that I'm able to, kind of go to in order to get the news. But I feel you, Mimi. Me and you both, Mimi. She is funny. Fahima Sex says, word on the street, they were hacking each other. That's funny. So in some other news, again, you guys were I'm pretty sure that most of you watched the presidential debate last night. I'm almost positive. How could you not? Kamala Harris, in my opinion, let me just go ahead and put this on the record. She did her thing. I think that she made a lot of people proud yesterday. Trump was a broken record, let me tell it. He gave us something that I've already expected. I think I've already heard, many of us have already heard the rhetoric, right? But Kamala Harris, I believe, did her thing. But afterwards, the big news was Taylor Swift, who we all know is one of the gigantic artists. We call her a mega artist, similar to Beyonce, just on that level. All at the same time, Taylor Swift officially endorsed Kamala Harris. And of course, she is catching heat for that, and some people don't like it, but too bad. She has put this out to millions and millions of her fans. And I feel like that is a very influential thing that she has done. You know, sometimes we question whether when artists put out their endorsements, if it moves the needle at all. Some of them we doubt. You know, we talked about rappers, you know, endorsing Donald Trump and showing up at his rallies. And we've had conversations about how that may not be as influential as they think it is. Someone like Taylor Swift getting involved, I do believe it's possible. She very much will move the needle with that. So anyway, we will see what happens behind it. Of course, a lot of people, namely Republicans, are after Taylor Swift right now. So say a prayer for Taylor Swift. Girlfriends, the TV show, we talked about them recently because I recently had a conversation with Golden Brooks. She was one of the girlfriends on that TV show. It premiered 24 years ago. I'm telling you, when I start naming things like this, 23 years, 24 years, I feel like because I'm still very young. Don't you feel that way? I'm still very young. Where did this time go? Well, 24 years ago, I was stuck to the television because Girlfriends premiered on TV, and I loved it just like so many other people. Mara Brock-Akil, she was the creator of that show, and she did a fantastic job. But these women are still around. They're still looking lovely, doing marvelous things. So, you know, they are still around, but we celebrate that today. Also, the VMAs are going down. It's happening right now. I told you guys a couple weeks ago, Megan Thee Stallion is going to be the host of this. I don't know how she's doing because I'm right here on the Rob Report. So, I mean, I hope she's doing okay, though. From what I know, she does a pretty good job of things like this. Andy, you have any updates on it?
No, but it's crazy because I did not see one commercial. I didn't see not one promo about the VMAs. Not even on social media.
Neither did I.
We're in different times now.
Yeah, it's a very different time. I mean, I think even when it comes to movies and television shows, we don't see them anymore as much as we used to, just because we don't even watch live television anymore. We're streaming everything, so the commercials aren't the same. I think these companies, they utilize social media largely. For social media in order to kind of, get the word out. So yeah, I'm right there with you. The VMAs, I only heard about it through social media. I have not seen any commercials or ads for it. But, our thoughts are with Megan Thee Stallion. I hope she holds it down because, as you know, she catches a lot of heat these days. Still, she's trying to get her name back. She's trying to get her career back, and she seems to be on the right track. So good for her. Kendrick Lamar is back with another diss song. Now that's crazy. And this one I haven't heard it yet, but it seems to be aiming at Drake and Academics. This guy. I don't even want to talk about him, but I'm going to listen to it. I don't know if it's new or if it's older and they just put it out. I'm not sure. But this comes right after the news of him headlining, remember, Super Bowl next year in New Orleans. So we don't know what's going to happen with Drake. He's put out a few songs, but he hasn't been moving the needle really at all. So we'll see what happens after this. Also, Jonathan Majors, this story made me pretty upset. There was a story that said that his current girlfriend, Megan Good, has been paying for everything amid his downfall. I hated that story. I hated the fact that somebody reported on that because, number one, it's none of our business. Number two, how does that make this black man feel, when we're sort of putting it out there and leave it up to the fans and the public to comment on the fact that his girlfriend is taking care of everything because of him being down and out right now? That's not cool. And that's not our business, So I don't like that. And then right on the heels of that story, Jonathan Majors, they say, is selling autographs at his upcoming event for $140. But yet here we are. We always talk about, multiple streams of income, doing whatever we got to do. We're talking about hustling. How come he couldn't make his money and not be clowned for that, Anyway, we will definitely talk about that more probably tomorrow. When we come forward, though, I'm excited. There is a new unscripted series. It's called Coming from America. We have a special guest with us who's going to be calling in about this show. Imagine picking your family up from America, all your belongings, and saying, I'm leaving the country, right? Imagine saying, I'm going to go to Africa with my whole family. Well, we're going to talk to somebody who actually did it. And it's going to be pretty interesting. I have questions. I know you might have questions as well. So feel free to call in if you would like to do that at 1-800-920-1580. Always taking you guys' phone calls. We're going to get started with that, of course, on the other side. And if you have questions, you could either call in or you could put them inside of our YouTube chat, and we will make sure to pay attention to that, okay? Right now, though, we've got news, traffic, and sports. You guys are listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? It's your girl, Takara Williams, here with Robin Ayers on The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. If you ain't here, baby, hurry up.
More of The Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former President Trump says he isn't sure if he'll debate Vice President Harris again. After Tuesday's debate hosted by ABC News, Fox News proposed 3 dates to both campaigns for a possible second debate. Trump said he feels less inclined to agree to another debate because he had what he called a great night in his first debate. A new report shows that healthy black women are more likely to undergo unnecessary C-sections than white women. That's what a study of 1 million births in 68 New Jersey hospitals show. A black woman with a health profile similar to a Caucasian woman is 20% more likely to have her baby via C-section, even at the same hospital. Fans of the group Frankie Beverly featuring Maze are mourning the founder and lead singer's death. Beverly's family made an announcement through a post on Instagram. The beloved singer was 77. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Back in Long Beach, Sigler involving an overturned big rig continues to have the 103 off-ramp to PCH as well as on-ramp closed until further notice. A brush fire now has a closure that continues on Mount Emma Road between 47th Street East and Cheeseboro. Southbound lanes, however, of Cheeseboro are allowing access to the mobile home park, so please be advised and approach it with caution. Stall has been cleared from the 101 South before Alameda Street, with a 35-minute backup in recovery from Gower. Also, stall has been reported in Hollywood's 101 North at Highland Hollywood Bowl interchange with a 20-minute backup from Vermont Avenue.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Blindster is a family-run business that began in 2010, and we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters and received over 100,000 five-star reviews. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill admitted Wednesday morning that he could have handled himself better when he was pulled over Sunday morning in Miami for a traffic violation. Hill was a few blocks away from Hard Rock Stadium when he was pulled over by Miami-Dade police for reckless driving. The encounter led to Hill being pulled out of his car, handcuffed, and thrown to the ground. Hill said, "I've got to follow the rules. I've got to do what everyone else would do." Hill still expressed his disappointment in how he was treated, specifically by Danny Torres, a 27-year veteran of the Miami-Dade Police Department. Torres was placed on administrative leave pending an investigation. Hill and his lawyer Julius Collins and his agent Drew Rosenhaus want Torres fired immediately. No word yet on whether Hill plans to pursue legal action against Tories or the Miami-Dade police. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
Tips to help improve basic steps for building a budget in 2024. Building a budget can help you achieve and reach your financial goals. With a budget, you can keep track of your spending, avoid and get out of debt, limit overspending, pay bills on time, and build solid savings habits. What's the best way to get started? Figure out how much to set aside for expenses, like rent, mortgage, bills, groceries, and entertainment. Understanding your past financial habits can help you make the proper adjustments for your budget. Adjusting to a budget can take time as you work to find the right balance, but keep working on it. For more financial health tips, visit chase.com or stop by a local branch. This segment is sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on. Who's got next? And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
You were inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. I am so excited to get this conversation going for you guys because I have questions, all right? And I know you do as well. Right now, though, I have put over for you inside of our YouTube poll, have you ever visited Africa? Any parts of it? Any parts of the continent? Have you ever gone? If you have, you have. If you haven't, you haven't. But those of you who say no, but you plan to go, that I would like to know that as well. I want to be informed, okay? And I'm sure if you haven't been, you would like to be informed as well. There is a new show on Max. It's an original unscripted series called Coming from America. It just debuted on Thursday, September 5th. You can find that again. It's on Max. It's going to have one new weekly episode all the way through October 10th. So it's going to be good. It's going to keep you involved. And it's following 4 African-American families who pick up all their belongings and they risk it all and move over to another continent, okay? Africa. One of the families that has done that is Julia Davis. We have her on the line with us today. Hello to you, Julia. How are you today?
Hello, Robin. I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, you sound so good. Your energy sounds like you just made this this trek back from Africa. How are you feeling today? You sound like you're doing really well.
I'm doing very well. I'm in paradise wherever I go around the world. I'm always in paradise.
Ooh, I love that. I love that energy. Well, Julia, I mean, as you can only imagine, I have so many questions. This is so interesting to me because the conversation with Black people here in America, African Americans, has been for quite some time. We want to go back, right? We want to go back to Africa. We want to at least visit because there are a lot of misconceptions, but there have been more, there's more things coming from people that are enlightening though. And you did it. You picked up your family and you went. Please tell us about that experience and the decision to do so.
That experience was already festering in me for years. I just couldn't decide at the moment, like, where it was actually going to be. Was it going to be Africa? Was it going to be Europe? All I knew is that I wanted something new, refreshing, and exciting for myself and also for my kids, to give them an experience that'll just last a lifetime, whether it goes right or whether it goes left. I just wanted to jump out and really take this chance with them. But, you know, in order to do that, I had to make sure that the kids was, like, on point. They were good to go. Like, they had to be on board, because if they wasn't going to feel like, okay, this is something that we should do, Mom, then, you know, I wouldn't have done it at all.
Oh, yeah. Well,
but they were like all for it.
They were. Okay, so tell us about your kids. Tell us about your family.
Okay, well, I am a solo mom of 4. My oldest and the twins are already like 9 years apart. So my oldest is in his 20s, his upper 20s. The twins are teenagers, and my daughter is like the youngest one.
Wow.
So they're all spread apart. I literally had them like in my 20s, in my 30s, and my 40s.
Wow.
You know.
First of all, hats off to you, and as a mom of twins as well, I really take my hats off to you. So, you know, we have that in common. And you say that your kids were all about it. Your kids were already on board. Can you explain that to me? Because I feel as though the kids who live here, who are living their seemingly privileged lives, a lot of our kids, right? Seemingly privileged lives, wouldn't necessarily want to give something like that up to move to Africa. How was it, do you feel that they were so easily convinced or easily on board with it? Was it just that you had already exposed them to Africa, exposed them to newer, to better? I mean, tell me about that.
So to make a long story short, I am a mom that actually traveled a lot. You know, I grew up in Chicago, where I had my first son, my oldest. And then from there, I felt like I had did everything in Chicago. So I moved to New York. And when I got to New York, my dreams were just like unfolding one by one. I, took off from Chicago to move to New York to become an Oscar-winning makeup artist. Well, I didn't get the Oscar, but I did get that Emmy, So I got out there and I made an amazing life for myself in New York. And then from New York, I'm like, you know what? A lot of my clients at the time, they were moving to LA. So my kids have been kind of used to us, moving abroad, not abroad, but moving from state to state. And so when I got to LA, I was like, you know what? I'm going to homeschool them. I homeschooled them. And I started just showing them things. I'm like, you know what, guys, we're going to take a trip to Europe. We're going to take a trip here. We're going to do this because I wanted to expose them to so many different things. Now, we had never been to Africa before.
Okay.
So in order to talk them not so much talk them into it, just help them understand what lies ahead. And what I did was all the research that I did, I shared it with them.
Okay.
So when we found little things that they would enjoy, I explained that to them. You know what? They have these type of things. You know, oh, they do have this, guys. Oh, you can get this kind of food, or, you know, you can't do this or you can't do that. So I kind of familiarized them in a way, but I also let them know, hey, guys, if it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't, then we can always come back. But let's just give it a try. At least you can say you tried, you know?
And
so
they can
as long
say
as I
that.
had the homeschool, the homeschool was already laid. So wherever I was going to go, they was not going to be missing no type of education.
Wow.
You know? So
yeah.
I felt like it was like the plans at the time. I was preparing for a big field trip, even though we had to like leave everything and everyone. You know, but again, during that time when we were filming, well, not when we were filming, we were just coming out of the pandemic. So, you know, during that time, they really didn't see much of their friends. So it was like, let's
so they
just
were
get out
already
of the house.
okay. Yeah, they were like, we already not seeing anybody. Let's just go ahead and go. Well, let me ask you this though, Julia. When you were there, when you I'm assuming just based on this conversation, and correct me if I'm wrong, all 4 families did all of you move to Africa?
Yeah, we all moved to Africa. Some went to Ghana, some went to Zambia, I believe. Zambia.
Yes.
So yeah.
And where did you go? Or do we have to watch in order to find out? You went to Ghana.
Well, yeah. In the first episode, it tells you right there. I'm in Ghana.
Okay. Give us some information. Those of us, I have not gone to any country in Africa. I've traveled. That's one place that I have not gone, and it is definitely on my list. But there are a lot of misconceptions, and I think it's a different perspective speaking to someone who is African or who was born, raised, or lived in Africa, coming over here to America, telling us about it, versus someone who is African American going to Africa and telling us about it. I think there's a big, big difference there. So, what are we missing in Ghana? What are we missing?
You're missing home.
Oh, wow. That sounds
You're missing,
beautiful.
like, it's so different to say, I'm going to my apartment in LA. I'm going to my house in, New York. When you get off that plane and you arrive in Africa, you're on the continent, you're welcomed. You feel at home. It's like you're reliving a past life. Like, I've been here before. I don't know when.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I know that I've been here before. When you watch the video that's shown now and we walk out from the airport, it's like a breath of fresh air. Everyone is greeting us. We feel at home. And it's just like, there's no other way to describe it. It's just, you just feel like you're at home.
That sounds so beautiful. I want to go ahead and take this call while we have you on the line, Julia. This is Fahima. Hi, Fahima. What's your question, or what did you want to add to the conversation?
Yes, greetings, Robin, and greetings to your guests. Yeah, I visited several African countries. I have friends who have retired on the continent. I have one colleague, she bought some property in Tanzania, and there's the sister. Your guest is in Ghana. Does she know about One Africa? Because that's an area where a number of expatriates live, people like Rita Marley and a number of others. And lastly, my intention was to retire and either move to Ghana or Costa Rica, but unfortunately, I had to care for an ailing family member, and that kind of I had to rearrange my plans. But I'd like the sister, if she's familiar with One Africa, which is a place where a lot of expatriates live in Ghana, if she's familiar with that area. And the last thing is that Africa, they have very modern places. We've just been brainwashed to think it's all jungles and poverty. But South Africa, for one, is very modern. And there's a documentary series about young wealthy Africans, and I'll send that to you on the back channel, Robin.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for the call, Hema. Are you familiar at all with, I don't know how long you were there or what you were able to experience and where else you were able to visit, but are you familiar with One Africa?
I've never heard of One Africa, but I was in the area where Rita Marley has her home.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was in that area, and it was near like Aburi. It was beautiful.
Oh, wow. Now, do you experience or have you experienced the people who just don't get it here in America, people who are just like, why would you leave? Have you experienced that, or is it more encouragement and people who are inspired to go?
Absolutely. My family members were like, what is wrong with you? Like,
okay.
They were like, are you scared? I'm like, why should I be scared? Like,
right.
I think, you know what it is? I don't think that enough people are doing their research.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's, you know, I think we're like the same age, Robin. So you remember when you used to see those commercials and you see the kids.
Yes.
They're hungry.
Yeah.
So I think people have that image locked in their head, especially some of our elderly that has never been out of the country.
Mm-hmm.
So when you mention Africa, it's immediately like, oh my God, you're not going to be able to come back, or oh my God, like, are you going to be okay? What food are you going to eat? And I'm like, I'm eating black-eyed peas. I'm eating.
Yeah, you're like, I'm eating good. I'm eating good over here.
It's so good and so fresh, and you know, it's like it's an experience that I'm so glad that I left and I went and I'm there. You know, it's like, it's just an amazing experience, and it's better for me to like say, hey, come visit me in Ghana than to just, you know, say, well, this is how it is. You have to experience it for yourself.
You got to experience it. Well, listen, when we come forward, there's still much to ask you about, because I know we're talking about the greatness, and pretty much that's my experiences of having spoken with other people who've gone to Africa as well. They're telling us about the richness of it and the culture and how beautiful it is. But it's got to be something here that you were like, listen, I wasn't ready for this. We'll talk about that. Maybe you could think about it now, and I'll ask you on the other side. Let's keep you on the line, Julia, and we will continue our conversation when we come forward. You are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Mark your calendar for October 2nd. It's California Clean Air Day. When you go Metro, you'll enjoy free rides and help clear the air. We can reduce pollution and create a healthier environment together. Let's all ride for a cleaner tomorrow. Start your journey at metro.net.
That morning chill means truck season.
5 more minutes.
No snoozing. Do it all in a Chevy Colorado or Silverado, including the class-leading range of the Silverado EV.
Talking to me?
Work, play, hauling, off-roading, a Chevy truck can take it all.
Okay, I'm up.
Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 and Colorado pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 24.5%. Plus finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available at least in some of the offers. Take new retail delivery by 9/30/24.
Hi, this is Councilman Curran Price, inviting you to be part of our city's legendary musical history at the 29th Annual Central Avenue Jazz Festival on September the 21st from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. For decades, the Central Avenue Jazz Festival has honored this historic corridor's unparalleled contribution to jazz. Enjoy a day filled with jazz, blues, and Latin jazz across 3 stages, featuring performances by Chief Ajua, the John Beasley Big Band, and Las Chicas. Indulge in a variety of delicious foods from barbecue to Asian fusion, and explore from a unique mix of vendors and more. The festival is free to attend, and it takes place on Central Avenue between King Boulevard and Vernon Avenue. Parking is limited, so Metro and rideshare are recommended. For more information, visit centralavejazzfest.com. That's centralavejazzfest.com. See you on the 21st.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Rob Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
And we are having a conversation with Julia Davis from Coming From America. You can find it. You can stream it actually right now on Max. And they will be showing one episode per week all the way through October 10th. This is following 4 families who moved all their stuff. All right. They left their belongings, everything, or took their belongings and moved to Africa. Now, you were telling us, Julia, that you went to Ghana, but one of our viewers here inside of our YouTube chat, she says, what's the cost of living like? What's the cost of living in Ghana? That's her question.
Well, absolutely. It fluctuates. So you may see some cost of living prices that are like totally less than what you see here. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to see some, in the States, or you may see some that are like, wow, like this is high. So it fluctuates. There's some good ones. There's some high ones. There's some low ones. Mm-hmm. It just depends on what area you're going to, because listen, Accra is huge. Ghana is huge. So for me I literally thought it was like, okay, it's just small. No, it's huge.
Yeah.
So it's so many different areas. You have like, it just depends on your lifestyle. Do you want to live in the mountains? Do you want to live by the water? Do you want a city vibe? Do you want more of a small town kind of vibe?
Okay.
So, the prices depend.
So, I mean, it's just like here in America, right? I mean, you can go anywhere in America. It's huge. And then even just take a particular state, California, for instance, you can move to so many different places in California. You can find something that's affordable, and then you can find somewhere else, like, the Beverly Hills and Bel Airs and Calabasas and Newport Beach and all of those things. Do you feel like the show Coming From America, do you feel, because I know there was 4 families, but your particular family, do you feel that it gave us a wide array, a pretty good idea of the full experience that you experienced there?
You mean coming from my family?
Yeah.
Well, for my family, as I look at the other families, it is different. Everyone else is in a relationship. I'm literally doing it all by myself. Mm-hmm. So I am looking at all avenues where it's just me. Yeah, I have my oldest son there, but it's really just me. Yeah. I'm all in.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point.
It's just like being in the States. I'm all in the States because I'm a solo mom, and I'm full in when, we're out of the country,
Mm-hmm. No, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm curious, on the other side, I was asking you, okay, we talked about all the glitz and the glam and all the beautiful things, right?
Yeah.
What were some of the, okay, I'll choose my words wisely, not so good, but what were some of the things that maybe surprised you? Like, okay, I wasn't ready for this. That just kind of knocked you aback a little bit.
They the street lights. There's no street lights.
Okay.
And they drive wild. They drive wild. So it's like I'm holding on for dear life all the time. When we get in a car, it's like, oh my God, I wasn't prepared for that. And even in the States, you can't drink water, from the faucet like we did when we were younger.
Yep.
So it's like, definitely you just cannot do that there. Like, no. Like, don't do it. Everything is bottled water. Even when you brush your teeth, bottled water, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So
Okay.
that's just something that was like, darn it, you know?
Yeah, now that definitely makes sense. Pretty Brown Mimi also wants to know, what African country would you suggest we visit first? I mean, Ghana is great. You've given us some background there. Were you able to visit any other countries, or even hear about other countries that we should visit to?
Yeah, I actually visited Cape Town, which was amazing. Very modern.
Yeah.
Cape Town is hands down a beautiful country as well. You know, and it depends again on your lifestyle, what you're seeking. You know, Cape Town is just like kind of like LA, an upgraded version of LA. It's very luxury. It's very modern. It's very beachy. So, and then you also have your mountains, and you have, you know, the hills. You have all of that there as well. So to say which one to visit first, I would say, when you do go to Ghana, you feel that at home. You feel that at home with South Africa, but you really feel it when you're going to like West Africa.
Okay. All right. Well, I got my notes, you know, I've got my notes. And Julia, I'm glad that you went before me so I can take a look at your experience and get what I need to know.
I got you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Listen, that is our show. I appreciate you so very much for joining me on the Rob Report today and giving us some background about your new show, Coming from America. That is, you guys can take a look, go watch it, go stream it. It is on Max. And it's up right now. Go watch some episodes, and you'll continue to watch it through October 10th. Julia, where can everybody keep up with you online?
Sure. You can visit me on Instagram at Julia Jovone, JuliaJovone. Or you can hit me up on my website, EllaJuella, EllaJuella.com.
Absolutely beautiful. Well, again, I appreciate you so very much. Thank you for joining us, and I'm going to go stream and watch I'm going to watch your experience and tell you tell you where I'm going to go visit first.
The second episode comes out tomorrow. Second episode every Thursday.
Every
the second
Thursday.
episode comes out.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Sounds good. Well, thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll talk soon. Julia, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you too. Bye-bye.
All right, Raw Squad, I appreciate all of you so very much. My name is Robin Ayers. Remember, today and every day forward, be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former President Trump says he isn't sure if he'll debate Vice President Harris again. After Tuesday's debate hosted by ABC News, Fox News proposed 3 dates to both campaigns for a possible second debate. Trump said he feels less inclined to agree to another debate because he had what he called a great night in his first debate.